Now from here, we're going to be primarily talking about the paint and pretty much the paintwork and the colors themselves because from here on out, the sculpted details are pretty much the exact same as this guy is, just in different colors. So yeah, let's keep that in mind. But for this one, we got the version 2. And something that the version 2 has over the original version 1 is that because he doesn't have a pupil, it's kind of hard to screw up a tiny little kind of like blue shiny dot for the eyes, and then we got some like glowiness for the eyes. Like this is how you do a glowing effect, in my opinion. And then we got some like more of the crisp type detail. Well, not painted detail, I should say, because we got like a very beautiful glowing effect. Because even inside the mouth, we've got like a variety of different blues, and it just comes together to form this crazy concoction of like different colors. He's hard to oppose on the head area, so that's why I'm kind of like angling him around. But you can see like he has light blue, then dark blue for the teeth, some more dark blue for like the tongue, and then back to light blue. Like it, the consistency is weird, but it's so beautiful. And the gills are a bit iffy painted, like they're just blue streaks, that's it, like no subtlety when it comes to like the actual gill paint, which is a bit of a bummer, but really my only complaint about it. The chest, on the other hand, like this is eye candy, this is beautiful. Like they dry brushed this thing so well, and even just like the inside the creases, it's like spewing with energy. Godzilla's about to just do like some sort of crazy pulse. If you know, you know. But even like going to the sides of the body here, we have like the veins that are going to the spines, and even like the wrist where the nails aren't painted. Oddly enough, you think there would be like a sharp blue, but no, it's the same color as like the 2014 one is. But you still got like the mixture of blue where the dark blue and light blues actually come together and clash. That is awesome, in my opinion. And that's probably why it's my personal favorite of the bunch here, but as you can just see, even like the let's talk about the spines. Pure elegancy. Not only is the mold great, because again it borrows from the 2019 V1, but the overall like presentation of the figure. Like we have light blue for the base and then dark blue for the outer fins. Like even like here, you can kind of tell like that's where it's not as glowing as much, but still really glowing. And then even like the sides where it's got like the veins and then painted in between the scales, and even down to the legs where they went crazy with the veins. Even like here, we got like silver lining, and it's just mixed all together awesomely. And even like down here where it loses a bit more of the blue, but still's got the blue. But the legs here, a bit more basic, not much really way in the paint section. Kind of just more detail, but we do have some gloss for the toenails, which is very good. And also, they're a bit sharper than the V1s are. Because that's a bit more blunt, that's a bit more pointy. Very interesting to point out. And, of course, for the tail, pure, beautiful blue paint. Like, they did it in such a cool way. Like, they had the light blue on the top mixed in with dark blue. Then they have, like, the darker blue, kind of like metallic finish. And then underneath, they have, like, the regular color for the body. So, that's, like, of course, the bottom of the tail wouldn't be glowing, minus if you had better access paint. But still, for $20, this thing was sick. Like, you literally could have walked away a happy camper if you bought this. So, that's the V2. Next up is the V3. It's it looks it kind of like the V2 as far as the mold is, but trust me, well, the paint is just red and orange and yellow, but trust me, there's so much different. The head, it's got like kind of the similar effect where it has like the solid red eye, but no like intense painting. It's kind of like got a ruby red type color, and then you got like a bunch of black dry brushing over it. The teeth on mine aren't the best painted, but they are rather well done for what they are. Got a nice little banana tongue in there. And then you got like a very yellow orange like mouth, and even like down to the neck where you can see, like, in my opinion, this is probably the best painted gills of the bunch that I have on display right now. But even like down to the fins where you got like some yellow and then transitions to orange, then back to red, like that is awesome. And even going on down to the fins here, it's kind of washed in with the mold of the fins where they're kind of waving in. These fins aren't done necessarily great because you got yellow and you got orange and then you got red. It kind of confuses me as to what they were trying to do here, but I'm guessing maybe it was just like a concoction of the different colors. But kind of like what they did with V2, they got like the veins kind of coming down, and you got like the burning, kind of like ashy, almost looks like burning wood. If anyone obviously knows what burning wood looks like, it honestly looks like burning wood because you got like the very kind of dirty look for it, and it looks really good. And even down here where you got a bit more of like the veins, even like here there's a streak, and even down here where there's a streak on the thigh. Going on down to the other side, the veins, there's a bit more because you got some veins going down here, kind of crackling, and then you got this one, which is just beautiful. And then here you kind of got some yellow, but it's primarily just kind of back to the ruby red type color. And but the dry brushing is still there, and it's like increased in the sculpt, which it's so even though this is like what the third time they used the NECA 2019 V3 sculpt, it amazes me that they still managed to keep this thing as fresh as they did. And even the tail like follows a similar format with the V2, where they had lighter colors, a bit darker, and practically just a bit of dry brushing on the bottom. Except here, it's all with the warm colors, which again just look phenomenal. I mean, just look at this. Look at that wash, and then you got like the orange to yellow and to the red, and even like down here where it was a bit iffy, but again, it's like a different paint, so they can't really make it as consistent as they do. But you have like some red, and you have like some yellow tapering off to the sides, and again, it amazes me that they got this thing so well, and it even looks like that they are glowing, which is what you want from a burning Godzilla figure. So overall, for sculpt and paint, as far as the paint is concerned, I will say in terms of application, the V3 is definitely on the bit of the less side, but this one's they're about they had their advantages and disadvantages. And finally, we got the bootleg, which, as you can see, we have it's a different design technically because it's Godzilla Evolved, a much skinnier, robust design, not as chunky as the 2019 to 24 design was. But as you can see, we have like some streaks that go down the head as far as like referencing all like the streaks go in the film. We have a bit of a beady eye that's a bit, again, iffily painted. It's not like the particularly the best, but we do have some pink mascara, pink for the tongue, pink for the mouth. Not too much variety as far as pink goes. And here's the best attempt, but in execution, it's like it's not even aligned properly, like with the pink on mine. And I must stress that this is my particular copy, and I've seen a bunch of other evolved bootlegs floating around, so yours could look different from mine. I know there's one with like the veins, but mine doesn't have that. But what mine does have, excuse me, burp, is a bunch of metallic paint. This is, again, beautiful. Very reminiscent of the V2. And, like, even, like, down here where they got, like, a bit too carried away with the wash. So, it's definitely got, like, that wash appeal. So, you got all of that detail and all of that sculpt work, like, highlighted by the silver paint. And then you got a little bit of Axis paint right there. Let's push back these guys. Let's actually just kind of angle them like this. There you go. So I think that's a bit easier. We just have like a bunch of that signature detail just kind of going around, and even like downwards on the tail, we still get like that metallic finish that even like kind of tapers off even to the tip of the tail. However, the pink fins, in my opinion, are not done really all that great because even though mold-wise, it's beautiful because it borrows the NECA 2019 V1 mold, as I've said for like the billionth time, the white wash just doesn't look like it should. it looks more like a pastry. It looks more like a cupcake or yogurt. You get what I'm trying to say here? It does have that glowing effect with the spray. That I do like, minus the transition to the thigh. The arm gets a bit of a leeway because it's not as far close to it. But this, the glowing effect is fine, but you just, the white dots just make it look so weird and, again, like a pastry. But also, when you go to articulate it, the paint kind of stops, and I know it's like that for some of them, but like, take a look at V3. Let's roll back to V3. When you turn the joint, there's still paint underneath it. And just so I'm not messing around, see more paint underneath. Even if it's not a lot of it, there's still some. This just kind of stops. So they had these things pure black, and then they painted them. So, overall, I'd say, like, as far as the best one in terms of execution, I'd have to go with V2 just because it has the best mix of, like, overall paint and sculpt work mixed into it and actually takes advantage of it. Well, V3 is a little bit behind, and this guy's not that far behind either, but he definitely wins some points for movie accuracy, and he definitely wins some points for trying, question mark,